Today we're going to be loading up some Servicio primers in 45 ACP, and that's coming up next here on Jesse B Outdoors. Welcome back everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. Well, if you guys have been following the little series I've been doing on these Servicio primers from Argentina, we tried them out in 9mm. In my budget 9mm, I had to upgrade the striker springs in it. And my Glocks, they ran fine. And 10mm, they ran fine. So now we're going to put them in small pistol primer 45 ACP and try them in the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 and my Ruger SR 1911 to see if they fire in that. Now the whole reason why I'm doing this series with 10mm and 45 ACP is because these are 50 bones a brick, and that is dirt cheap at Republic Ammunition. So what I want to do is I want to see if it's worth me spending the extra money for small pistol primer brass and 10 and 45 and save money by going to these primers, because the next brick up a large pistol primers is 80 bones, and that's a big difference. So if I can switch over to these, that would make me very happy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the desk here, we're going to prime up 50 rounds, and then we're going to load them up, and then in a video on my other channel we'll shoot them and test them out. So let's get started. Alright, I'm going to be reaching around the camera to do this, so if I bump into it, that's why. But you can see we got our primers right here. And we got 50 rounds of brass here. What this is, it's a mix of Federal and Blazer. They do small pistol primers. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to Mark Thomas. He sent me some 45 ACP small pistol primer brass to do this video. I didn't have enough for 50 rounds, and he sent out some. Thank you for that. And then my wife, her uncle, also sent me a almost full box of full rounds of Federal that had small pistol primers in it. We're going to use those in a different video, but I'm trying to collect small pistol primer brass. So thank you, Greg, and thank you, Mark, for that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prime these with my Frankfurt Arsenal hand primer here. So we got the tray here. We're going to open these up. Now there's already 50 missing out of this because we used them in the 10mm video. So we're going to get my tray here, flip it over, just in case you guys have never seen this done before. And then we're going to shake it until they're all anvil up. Now they're all anvil up, we're going to put our top back on this. Get it to snap in, and you want to make sure it snaps in all the way, because if it don't, the primers will slip. Also, make sure your gate right there is closed, so when you go like that, they all don't fall out. Then we're going to put it into our hand primer here, which already has the number 2 in it, shell holder to hold this. Now what I'm going to do, like I said, I might bump the camera while doing this. I'm just going to talk to you for the first 5 and tell you that they go in nice and smooth. We had no issues with 9mm or 10mm or 40 with these going in rough. They're all going in nice and smooth. Same with these. I don't feel any resistance that's excessive. They feel normal. So now what I'm going to do is, if I can get it in the shell holder right there, is we're going to finish these 50 up here. I'll just fast forward through it. No sense of me talking. There ain't much to talk about on these. So let's get rolling on them. This one just didn't feel right. Definitely is not in there. I think I might have got another primer. Yeah, I got another primer snuck in behind it. That's why. There we go. Now it's flat. Well, since I had that little issue that was caused by yours truly here, I'm not going to hold that against there. At least these primers, I should say. But we're coming down to the home stretch here, so we'll just finish these up here real quick. I cannot wait till I get my Dillon press so I can do these on the press, because my hands are getting so bad. Just doing these 50, they're already numb and I'm having problems picking them up. But there we go. We got 50 rounds here made up. Run our fingers down to make sure all these, none of them are sticking up and proud. So far they're all feeling good. They all went in nice and easy except for my one little screw up. So let's go over the components we're going to use to load these up, and then we'll get loading them. Now for powder, we're going to be using HP 38, and I know I got some newer reloaders that watch this channel now. HP 38 is Hodgdon, Winchester 231 is the same thing, just so you guys know that. Bullet we're going to use is going to be a Lee 452 230 truncated cone here. And I like to thank Andy 79Z28 for sending out the lead that I made these with. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. So now let's get set up and get loading. Now we're going to get started reloading here. And what we're going to do is, unlike the other times, I've ran 50 rounds beforehand to get everything set up. Well, I don't have enough small pistol primer 45 ACP. I couldn't do that. So I'm going to kind of run you guys what I do. I got all the dies set up and everything, but my powder is not on. So I just sized it. What I'm going to do is come over here, zero out my scale. Then we're going to go and charge it. Now with charging it right now, I was loading 40 Smith & Wesson before this with this same powder. And my 40 Smith & Wesson and my 45 ACP are really close in a powder charge. Since I'm using HP 38 in both, they should be fine. And yes, that is right where I want it. So now we're going to move over to bullet seating. Seat that bullet. Then we're going to crimp it. And then what I'm going to do, since I haven't got to do no test rounds yet, I got the barrel here out of my M&P 2.0 because this is the pickiest chamber I've got. We're going to drop that in there. Make sure it drops out. Drop it in again. Listen for the plunk. Love that sound. Spin it. It's not touching any of the rifling, so that round is perfect. So let's keep moving on here and make up the other 49 rounds here. Now if you guys follow the channel and watch my reloading videos, you will know that I just sit here, reload, and talk about stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about the 40 Smith & Wesson I made up before these 45s. Why did I do that video? Well, I figured I'm saving my money up to get a Dillon 550C, and I want to do some videos with the lead load or classic turret press here, since my lead load all isn't working right. So I figured I need to go through every single caliber I have and do some videos on it with the Lee Classic Turret Press while I got this up, so I don't have to put the Dillon up and then take this down and do it all over again. So I'm trying to knock these videos out for the reloading channel. That way you guys can see a bunch of different rounds made on this press, because this is a very good press. This one I recommend. Don't matter if you're a beginner or if you're a long time reloader. I recommend this press for everybody. There is a mod that I have done to it. You can see there's a light up here. You can kind of see where it's shining. I actually have a flashlight mounted to a magnet up there, and that is so I can see my powder drop better, because it is dark in this room right now. Where I reload, I don't have a lot of lighting like I do where I do my tabletop videos. So that was my way around that, was to use that magnet and check this out and put that on there so I could check out my powder. Now that 40 Smith & Wesson, I'll do a shooting video on my other channel like we're going to do with these. If you guys don't know, I've got two channels. I got my original Jesse B Outdoors channel, and then I started this channel up because I miss doing reloading videos. And we all know how YouTube is sometimes. That way, if this channel gets a strike, gets taken down, yada yada yada, it don't hurt all the hard work I put into my other channel. So a lot of the stuff that I'm reloading on this channel, you guys will see shot up on the other channel. And this test I actually started before I started this channel. So that's why we're doing the shooting over there and the reloading on this one also. because people have already known what I'm doing over there, watching the video series over there, and I don't want to move it all over to here, because over there I've got almost 3,800 subscribers now, and on this channel I've only got 49 as this video. So I want to make sure that everybody over there keeps up with the testing on it for moving over here. Now, if you don't follow the channel, every 10th round on the Lee Classic Turret Press, I double check my powder charge, make sure that it's on. I'm using the Lee Auto Drum, and it's dead on. My experience with the Lee Auto Drum is plus or minus a tenth, but usually it is dead on, so I do not have to worry about it. But just because, you know, everybody is different reloading, what works for me might not work for you. Everybody does something different. I like the feeling of double checking them every 10 rounds on here. Now, when I do the Lee Loadmaster and I have the case tubes loaded up, what I would do on there, like with 9mm, it'd hold 25 rounds. Every time a tube ran out, I would check it, and usually it was pretty dead on. But to me, it's easier to do it this way with 10 on here, because I'm putting them right back in that tray you saw when I was using priming. And if something goes wrong with it, I know that row of 10 is the ones I need to pull down and double check and make sure they're right, so I don't have to worry about them. I thought that was my 10th one on this one, but I was looking at my thing wrong. But that's just checks I like doing. Everybody does stuff different. Like I said, do what makes you feel comfortable. Do not fly while you're reloading. The reward of getting them done quick is not worth the risk of having a squib load, a double charge, anything like that. So about right now on this press, this is about the fastest pace you'll see me go on it. I mentioned in other videos, I've watched some videos on YouTube, man, where guys, they have the case kickers and everything set up on here, and they just fly, man. You can see their head moving, their whole body shaking. Risk is not worth the reward, or the reward worth the risk. Both ways on that one. For that to happen to me, I've had a couple of squib loads early in my reloading career, and they're not fun. Luckily, the first one I got, it barely went into the barrel, and it went in chamber the next round. So, of course, I figured, you know, it was a failure to go in the battery, so I tap racked it, and then the next round did the same thing, so I stopped. And then I couldn't figure it out, so I pulled the slide off, pulled the barrel out, and was like, got a squib load. That's why that happened. That was my first squib load. And then the second one I got, it was one of those, I just noticed that it sounded different. That shot didn't sound like the rest of them, sounded kind of weak. So I stopped, pulled the magazine, took the slide off, checked the barrel, and sure enough, I had a squib load on that too. Both of them were my reloads, and I can tell you what happened. Back when I first started reloading, the crazy Scotsman got me the Lee Little C Press. I think then it was 40, 50 bucks, something like that on Amazon. Price has gone up a little bit on them. But I was just starting to reload, and when you reload, don't have anything else going on. That's what I had. I had the kids bugging me. I had the wife bugging me on both of them. Lost track where I was. Didn't check the powder charge. Put a bullet on. And got squib loads. Now, if you guys follow my channel, you guys know I keep it real. When I do reviews on my other channel, I don't lie about nothing. I tell you my honest opinion. And on this channel, like I said, I know I got a lot of newbie reloaders that watch me. And I just want you guys to learn from my mistakes so you ain't got to go through them. Am I the most knowledgeable reloader? No, there's other people out there that are way more knowledgeable than me. Just name some of them off in case you guys want to do some channel searching. CW Longshot, Vihavo, Walter, his channel is Vihavo. Uncle Jim too. People like that. There's other ones out there. I'm not going to go through and name all of you guys. Those are just the first three to come to mind. Check their channels out. They know what they're doing. That's who I learned from. Another thing for you new reloaders, Friday nights. Jamie JH586 that I mentioned does the Georgia Shooting Connection live chat on Friday nights. And they talk about reloading pretty much on there. And I know if you guys have ever heard Gene reloading from the hot pot, he's loaned me some guns. He lives about a half hour from me. He's on there also. He don't really do many reloading videos anymore, but he's on there talking about it. Let's do a measurement here real quick. He's on there, and a couple other people. Walter's on there, Jamie, CW. They're all on there. I don't get on there much anymore because I'm busy, and we're dead on again. But I love getting on there when I was learning, because those guys are very knowledgeable, and if you ask a question, it will get answered on that live chat. They try to answer everybody's questions. So if you're a new reloader, or even if you're a seasoned reloader, go check them out. 8 o'clock Central, Friday nights, Georgia Shooting Connection. And let's see here. We are over halfway done on these. What else can we talk about? Alright, let's talk about what we're shooting these in. That sounds good, because 45 ACP. Let's talk about the guns we're going to fire them in. First gun is going to be my Ruger SR 1911. That is my first 1911 gun, and my first 45 ACP. Love that gun. Probably will never get rid of it. Love shooting it. My experience with it and other 1911s, they're like laser beams. You aim it and the bullet goes where it needs to go. And it don't matter about how many polymer guns I shoot on this channel. I do love 1911s. So the Ruger SR 1911, my first 45, my only 1911. I do want another 1911. Talking about Gene at Reloading from the Hot Pod. If you guys haven't seen on my other channel, he loaned me the TSOS 10mm 1911. And I kind of fell in love with that gun. So one day I wouldn't mind having a 10mm 1911. Another one I would love to have, but I can't afford one. I would have to save up for a while. Is I would love a 2011. If you guys don't know what a 2011 is, it is a double stack 9mm 1911 basically. Some of the companies now call them 2311s. Other ones are double stack 1911s. Staccato holds the patent or whatever they call all that fancy crap for the name on it, so other people can't say what it is. To me, they're all 2011s. It's kind of like a crescent wrench. Crescent is the name of the company, but no matter who makes them, everybody calls them a crescent wrench. So that's the way I feel about the 2011 thing. And would love to have those guns. Another one I wouldn't mind having, actually this would probably be the one I'd go for if I saved for it, is the Stealth Arms Platypus. And the reason why I would want that one is because it's a 2011 excuse me, I got a dry throat here, and it takes Glock magazines. I know that sounds like a weird combo, but if you follow the channel, you know I have got a ton of Glock magazines, and I got them in different sizes. So I think that would be cool to have that platypus for one. It's made in St. Mary's, Ohio. St. Mary's, Ohio is about 45 minutes from me. So I think that would be cool to support a Ohio company. And then also the cool thing is you can customize it, but of course the price goes up. Different Cerakote, stuff like that. I wouldn't get fancy with any of that. But what I would do is have a RMR cut on it. I used to never be big into red dots, and now I absolutely love them. And it kind of ticks me off that my 10mm Smith & Wesson and Zulisi red dot flew off of that, and it screwed the threads up on it. I think I talked about that in my 40 Smith & Wesson video. I'm doing this one the same night that I did my 40 Smith & Wesson video. So I haven't dug into it yet. I was kind of mad about it. And it's dark outside, and I figured, let's do some reloading videos, because I did 4 outside shooting videos today. And I just want to relax now and reload some ammo. So there's some talking about that. Let's move on to the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 45. Now, the reason why I wanted that was I wanted a double stack 45 ACP. And, you know, I've had a few Glocks, and I still got a Glock 19 Gen 5. I've got the Glock 22 Gen 4 police trade-in. And I've got one Glock clone. And then I've got 2 PSA daggers that are basically Glock clones too. So I kind of wanted something different than a Glock design. But I like the gun, but I don't like the texture on the grip. For some reason on my 10mm Smith & Wesson, the texture isn't as aggressive, so it don't bug me. But I call the 10mm a M&P 2.5 because it's got the front cocking serrations on it, and it don't seem like the grip texture on it is as aggressive, so that don't bug me. But on the Smith & Wesson 2.0, I'm actually thinking about letting that one go after I do these sets of videos, just because it's not a joy to shoot when every time you shoot it and your hands are deep red after shooting it. And 45 ACP, usually I only shoot 50 rounds per video, and after 50 rounds with that gun, my hand is deep red. So I really don't like it. And other thing I don't like about it is, for being a double stack, it's only 10 rounds. I can get a Glock 21 and it'll have more rounds. I'm going to check my powder charge here real quick for the last time. But I don't like the capacity of it either. There's other guns out there that have way more. Now, what I was thinking about doing was getting rid of it and putting that money towards the Dillon I want to buy. That would let me get the Dillon quicker. And then I would just save up for another 45 ACP striker fire. Now, what would I get? I hate to say it, I'd probably get a Glock 21. If I did, I might do the police trade-in route on that again, just to make it cheaper. But that holds 13 rounds. I think the Springfield Armory XDs hold more rounds. I'm not a fan of those guns. To me, a striker fire gun should not have a grip safety. I know people say that you don't really pay attention to it, that it automatically goes on when you grab it. But that's just like my 1911. I don't carry it because, for one, I'm left-handed and it don't have an ambi safety. And for two, I don't like the grip safeties. I know that's going to get people going down in the comments, but that's why I don't carry a 1911 or a Springfield, because I will say a Springfield because I think grip safeties on a striker fire gun is just not right. To me, there should be a blade safety on the trigger, and your trigger finger is your safeties. That's all you need on a striker fire. That's just my personal opinion on that. But that gun, like I said, I do like it. A couple of things I don't like, and the things I don't like is probably going to make me get rid of it. I'm going to do a review video on it with the ammo that Greg sent me, with the small pistol primers to get it shot up so I can clean that brass and load it up. And then I'm going to do the video for these rounds with it, and then probably say goodbye to it, and hopefully be able to get my Dillon press quicker. And then sooner or later after that, save the money for another Striker Fighter 45. Well, we are coming down to the home stretch here. 50 rounds ain't too bad on this. I'm looking at my timer here on my clock. Looks like we are at the 20-minute mark. Of course, if I wasn't talking to you guys, I'd probably go a little bit quicker, but not much. Like I said, this is the pace I like running with this press. No need to go real fast. Got 2 more rounds here. No reason to get crazy with it. And then right there I had a brain fart. Oop, dropped the bullet. My fingers are getting numb again. Good thing we only got 2 rounds left. No need to go crazy on it. Now the last round here, just in case you guys have never seen the Lee Classic turret press. We got sizing. I've got this already pre-primed, so I don't have the decapper in there. Now what we're going to do, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're going to flare it and put the powder charge in it. Now we're going to put the bullet in it, seat the bullet, and then we're going to crimp the bullet. And that round is done. What I'm going to do again, since this is my last round here, we're going to take our barrel right here, plunk test it, make sure it works again. I love that sound. Spin it. And now we know our rounds are good. So now what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to do all 50 rounds in this to make sure they pass this. And then we'll take them outside and shoot them. Let me tell you my final thoughts on this. So, final thoughts here on the Servicios small pistol primers and 45 ACP. Told you guys, as I put them in with my hand primer, no issues. The only issue I had was this dummy here. Not on these. Loading them up, of course, they loaded just fine. The real test is when we take them outside in the next video, which is going to be on my other channel. And we're going to fire them in my Ruger SR 1911 and then my Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 45 ACP. See how they do in that. So far, like I said, pretty much a 9mm, I had no issues. Had a couple of hiccups with a couple of clones, but that's alright. 40 Smith & Wesson, no issues. 10mm, no issues. So now, the 45 test. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axle Hearing Protection, Gators Eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some got discount codes to save you guys money. Some are affiliate accounts that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are one nation under God. And I'll see you all on the next one.